clips, and the internet just went, which is like, oh, great. Fun. So, get everything back up and running, and then we'll get back, we'll play the video and the audio again. It seems like possibly a power cable came out, because all of a sudden just everything went black on the modem. Everything back there is running. So I'm going to show you the video, which is live camera, cell phone footage from the shooting. Then we will play an audio clip of the police scanners. And then I have one other one. I forget which one it is. But we'll go over that in a minute. So we're going to go to, this is from the concert, cell phone live footage. You just hear the automatic fire, but something doesn't sound right. Almost sounds like two guns going there. It might just be echoes, but I can't even imagine what it's like. Now we're going to go, this is going to be audio from the police channel. Now, what was happening last night is, I actually went to bed early last night. And no, I'm not trying to make you feel so, that has nothing to do with it. I'm just saying, I actually went to bed early last night. And on my phone, in fact, on my phone, on my tablet, I have programs with the scanners. If so many people go over that, over a certain amount, well, I get alerts. So my tablet and my phone are right next to me, and they start going off like a bat out of hell. So I get up, I take a look, and I start, you know, I get onto YouTube and all that, and I start going through the videos and everything, and it's just, I couldn't believe it. And we're going to get more into it. Something doesn't seem right with this whole shooting. Something doesn't add up. And we're going to talk about it. This is going to be the audio from the police frequency. This is what I was listening to. I was listening as they went in the room. When they blew the door off the hinges and everything, you hear the explosion. And the irony of it, all of a sudden, like a minute later, you start hearing calls for an explosion. There's gunfire all over the place. So the cops are running all around, when all it actually was is just the breach of the room where the gunman was locked down. But here's the audio from the police scanners, and the irony that we've been dealing with a bunch of spoiled, rich, millionaire idiots that play a game for a living have been protesting, of all things, the police. And this is what the police have to deal with.
16910 means we got shots fired. 415 ASF. Route 291 sounded like an automatic firearm.
Copy, code red at 169 Sammy, do you have shots?
179 Sammy is coming from upstairs in the Mandalay Bay. Upstairs in Mandalay Bay, halfway up. I see the shots coming from Mandalay Bay. Halfway up. Control 361 IC. We have multiple 458 breaks. Give me a surge. We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Shots fired from Mandalay Bay. There's many people down. Stage left. Just be advised.
790 right. I'm going to form a strike team. Mandalay Bay and the Boulevard. I need 5 officers on me.
Control 020.
020, go ahead.
Stay set on the suspect's door. I need everybody in that hallway to be aware of it and get back. We need to pop this and see if we get any type of response from this guy. To see if he's in here or if he's actually moved out somewhere else.
Copy. All units on the 32nd floor. SWAT has explosive breach. Everyone in the hallway needs to move back. All units move back.
Breach, breach, breach. They need the radio. We are clearing this road. We have one suspect dead.
We need the air clear for Zebra 20. They have one suspect down inside the room. Zebra 20 has one suspect down inside the room.
And from there was a lot of confusion, which there is on these scenes. That was pretty much the end of the firefights that went on. We got to see a lot of good in people. Hey, Jenna. You're here. You know what? I had issues and I missed like a 20-minute segment because of my internet went out. We saw a lot of good in people. I know it's hard to believe those words going together. You had people that knew the risk, were running into the kill zone, grabbing people, taking them out, and then going back in. Using everything they could find as stretchers. But yet we have NFL players sitting on their fucking knees. We'll find out, hopefully, in the coming days, what drove this sick, twisted man to do this. It is absolutely disgusting I don't have a lot of words for it. We're going to discuss it, but I don't have a lot of words. And I'm going to show one other view, and this one, you can hear the gunfire, and nobody's moving. A lot of people thought that it was fireworks. It was a 3-day musical event. It was Jason Aldean that was on stage, I believe his name is, and he was doing his last song, so people thought there was fireworks going off. It's Las Vegas. Long music festival. Not uncommon. There was one report from a guy, he said he thought it was fireworks until he looked to his one side, and the girl that was standing next to him took a bullet in the head. That's when he went, he got a little frantic and understood it wasn't fireworks. This makes no sense. As of right now, there's nothing to say, okay, well, it was on a false ideology, like when we talk about ISIS and their quote-unquote lone wolf attacks. Okay, we can explain that there's a religious ideology difference going on. They're a little sick in their head with their ideology, but we can explain it. Okay, there's a political difference, there's a religious difference. I'll even go so far as we can say, okay, well, it might have been a drug feud. I'm not justifying the action, saying at least there's some type of explanation behind it, whether it's justifiable or not. There doesn't seem to be a single reason for it. There's going to be a lot of questions about all this. Now, I also read very briefly on an update, he had 2 houses. First house didn't really anything come up with. The next house, they found more guns, explosives, and that's what's funny, because liberals, I don't even think an hour had gone by, and Huffington Post was jumping on the gun control ban. These fucking pieces of shit liberals jumping all over that. People's bodies weren't even cold, and they want to talk policies that won't change any of this ever from happening. Jesus Christ, the guy had automatic guns. Chances of him having the federal permitting to own one are very slim. So I'm pretty sure they were illegally owned and obtained. He's supposed to have had explosives, which are not legal to own. This was not a spur of the moment, I gone batshit crazy. This is planned out. He got the room, what, on Thursday or something like that, the 28th, something like that, of September. He was there for a couple of days, people. He had to sneak up 10 firearms, 10 long rifles. That's not an easy feat. How did he accomplish that? Alright, I'm going to play one last video. We're going to go to a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more. And I can talk all we want, but it won't make any sense. Gun violence, there's never any sense to it. This is one of those that just, there's nothing adding up. As I said, this one's from a little bit further back. And if you're watching the videos, you can see how nobody moves. And the gunfire stops for a reload or a change of gun, something. That's when Jason Aldean runs off the stage and everybody went, oh fuck, this isn't fireworks. Sorry about that. Everybody, if you hear, they're like, what's going on here? Hey, listen, there's a lull here. And the camera turns right to Mandalay Bay Resort. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense. We'll be right back after this brief message.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. I'm going to try to get everything back on track now. That damn internet outage or whatever it freaking caused it. You know, that's the kind of day I'm having. Like I said, I told you what happened with my AR-15. Shot that little pin. Went flying. Then I blocked myself from SHR chat room. And then the internet issue. Whether we had an outage or the plug got popped out. It's like, Nikes. Just, I don't know. This whole situation. Why did this guy go on a shooting spree like this? You know, his family's shocked. You know, but how shocked can you be when your dad was on the top 10 list of the wanted FBI back in the 70s? Father robbed a bunch of banks, and then he went and escaped from federal prison. Still got a light sentence. You know what, Jenna? I'm scared too. I'm scared for my daughter, but I don't let that stop me from doing things. Because, I mean, that's what some of these sickos want. They want us hiding, and I'm not going to give them that satisfaction. Back to what I was saying, this guy, his father, was on top 10 FBI list in the 70s. So he served his time after getting caught again. Then he got in trouble with the law. He was running some kind of scam with a bingo, and he got, fined, pretty much. And that's this guy's father. And they're like, oh, we're shocked. It's like an anvil dropped on us. He was never political. Sorry, people just don't snap. They were looking for his roommate slash girlfriend slash roommate. She's been found in the Philippines. For some reason, he had her ID with him. Now you have ISIS doing something that I haven't really seen them do before. I wouldn't put no scumbag maneuver past them. Now our government said that there's no connection to any foreign terrorist groups. But ISIS claimed responsibility. Our government said, nah, there's no connection. And ISIS came out and got a little upset and really pushed that. Yeah, he was one of ours. Which that, it makes me go, what the hell? So, I'm not sure. And like I said, at least if it was ISIS related, you can go, okay, it's a terrorist attack. I know everybody's saying it's a terrorist attack no matter what. I say that's weakening the word. I understand how some of the laws are. He's terrorizing. But true terrorism, they do these acts for political change. Right now, there's no political component to it. And why would ISIS lie like that? Knowing that if there is no connection, it's going to come out. And it's going to make them look bad. I mean, we have what, 59 was the last number I heard. 59 dead. 59 people have been killed. Their crime, they went to a concert. They went to a country music concert. That's their crime. There's more than 520 that are injured. 520. Their crime too? Going to a concert. Now, I am not country music listener. And that is no reason to shoot anybody. Now, what makes me really question a lot of this is knowing that it is a country music and adjacent Aldine concert. There's going to be a large amount of Trump supporters, large amount of military, conservative, white. Can I say military? Law enforcement, first responders. So that makes me on the political spectrum. Could this idiot have some kind of connection to Antifa? Any connection to the left? Because we're already hearing it. We're hearing it from some of these scumbags on the left. How there was one lawyer that says for or she was a lawyer for CBS. She has since lost her job. What was her statement? Most of those fans are Trump's fans, so she has no sympathy. So now, being a conservative is a death sentence, according to liberals. And of course, they had to jump right onto the gun control issue. We need more gun control. Because background checks would stop these from happening. Even though all these major shootings we've had over the last decade or so, not a fucking background check would have stopped a single one. None of the laws that we have, none of the laws that they have suggested would have stopped a single shooting. If you're going to come with an idea on how to stop these mass shootings, I'm willing to listen. But when your ideas are the same old, tired, bullshit ideas that won't change a goddamn thing except take guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands, I don't want to listen to your tired, old propaganda and rhetoric. we haven't bowed down to your anti-American agenda for 8 years, why do you think we want to fucking listen to it now? You would even wait for the bodies to be cold. And you want to sit there and start screaming about gun control. This is how sick and depraved and desperate they are. So desperate, Hillary Clinton's trying to become relevant again, but she went out and spewed a bunch of lies. Yeah. She got caught. I think MSNBC it was that got caught. I'm tired of listening to the same shit from them. Come up with a new idea. I'll be more than glad to talk to you. I'll be more than glad to listen. If it's actually going to change what happens. What you want to do is add more laws that just make it harder for Americans, law-abiding Americans, to get a gun. It doesn't stop criminals from doing anything, because realistically, we would only need one law that you can't commit murder. That's the only law you would need if people followed the laws. But criminals don't follow laws. So you can make all the fucking gun laws you want. You can make 1,000,001 gun laws, 1,000,002, 2,000,000 fucking gun laws. You could ban guns in the United States. Guess what? They're going to come across the borders. They're still going to find them. And even if you take every gun off the face of the earth, you will not stop these people from committing their heinous acts. ISIS went from using guns to using bombs to using vehicles. The left are so desperate to attack our constitutional rights. They have spent the last 8 months attacking our First Amendment, and they're back after our Second Amendment. They're so desperate that they attack the NRA and try to vilify them. The only thing that does for me, it makes me want to keep my membership with them. Hell, it makes me want to buy 2 or 3 memberships. Just to spite their mouths. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show. Also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Hey, I want to play something real quick before we get back on talking about Las Vegas and everything going on. I want to play a good friend of mine, Melanie's few minutes of personal finance employment scams. So watch out for these.
Welcome to this week's 5 Minutes of Personal Finance. This week we talk about employment and career scams. Yes, people are out there scamming people who are looking for jobs, which really, really stinks. So we're going to talk about a few, what they look like, how to recognize them. For example, career consulting scams. Here's what it looks like. A career consultant will email you and say they're super duper impressed with your resume and they'd like to represent you. And really what they're doing is they're trying to pitch their product or service and trying to get money out of your pocket. There are several recruiting scams. Recruiters will contact you. They'll say that they have clients with positions that you could be qualified for, and usually this is just another attempt to sell you something rather than recruit you for an actual job. Always, another one you have to be aware of are phishing scams. Any attempt to get personal information via email is always an opportunity, and this is not just job and career scams. You have to be careful about phishing. If you can't apply directly to that job, then be very aware that it's probably an attempt to get your personal information, your personal contact information for some type of identity theft. Another big one is shipping scams. These are work-at-home opportunities where they will actually tell you that they will ship you office equipment and things like that, and all you have to do is front the money up front. They will pay you back with a fake check that will clear at first and then eventually be returned, and you'll be left holding a bag. It's a really bad situation. There are also unemployment scams. These are people, criminals, who will offer to help you with to file unemployment insurance for a fee, which you don't have to pay a fee to file unemployment. There's no benefit to doing that. You can do so through your home state with no problem. In fact, it's against the law. So contact your state unemployment office if ever you want to file unemployment. Another one is called a bait and switch scam. This is a scam in which you apply for a job and they pick you for an interview. Lucky you. But during the interview, you discover that the job that you applied for actually doesn't exist. And they want you for something completely different. This is a job that nobody wants. Absolutely nobody wants. But they're going to try to convince you to take the job. Another big one is direct deposit scams. Never, ever, ever, here's the deal, give out your banking information in order to get a job over the internet. Now, one would think this would be common sense, but these people can be very, very convincing. Rule of thumb, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So that is this week's 5 Minutes of Personal Finance. Be very careful. Look out for employment and career scams. These people mean you no good. Remember, all of this is very important because it is your money.
And that is Melanie. She has a show here on SHR Media every Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. I believe Eastern Standard Time. And this whole thing's just kind of has me taken aback a little. I mean, between you have, that CBS executive that is, I know she's been fired. But it's still because country music, she was a vice president, senior counsel, strategic transactions at CBS. If they wouldn't do anything when children would murder, I have no hope that repugs will ever do the right thing. I'm actually not even sympathetic because country music fans often are
Republican gun toters. Where's the... What do you think? That's not good. Posted this woman's Twitter features. These people, and she's a teacher of all things. Lot of white Trump supporters in Las Vegas at Route 21 watching Jason Aldean. Pray only Trump tards died. The liberal left, they're so tolerant. They're so tolerant. They're so disgusting is what it is. What? Everybody's trying to get the country back together. Then you have scumbags like this, a teacher and a lawyer, because they don't like Trump. Because they listen to CNN too often. They believe a little bit too much about CNN. God. People, stop. Seriously, just stop and think. Too many posts shit on Facebook and Twitter. And they've become too open. They don't think before they talk. This is not your Dear Diary, people. Think before you say shit on the internet. Think. God, it's not that hard of a thing to do. Seriously, people. You know, this is fellow Americans we're talking about. Fellow Americans. It's not that hard. I don't know. Maybe my parents taught me a little something called self-respect. These are humans. Human beings. And then you want us to sit there and have conversations with you and take you seriously? God, if conservatives said half the shit that liberals say, holy fuck, would there be no end to the lectures. You have MSNBC spreads fake news about the firearms suppressors. Let's see if I can pull that up. Play the audio at least. Then they wonder why we say they spread so much fake news. I could just see these liberals like drooling at the mouth when they heard there was a mass shooting. Just drooling, oh, we get to go after the guns. Here's MSNBC. Hopefully it's not a damn commercial.
Even if one lover or gun enthusiast, what is the rationale behind wanting a silencer, if not to muffle or hide what do.
How does a suppressor even touch in on this subject? He wasn't using a fucking suppressor. And Hillary thinks if he did use a suppressor, no one would have heard it. Somebody's been watching too much TV. For some reason, this is... just when you think it's safe to go on the internet. Dun, dun, dun. Let's try this again.
What is the rationale behind wanting a silencer, if not to muffle or hide what you're doing?
Well, the NRA claims it's to protect the ears of hunters so that when they're out there killing a deer, which is basically a historic thing in this country, hunting. But the idea is, under the rules of protecting the hearing of hunters, they're going to authorize a device that will effectively silence a weapon. So imagine if this individual had a silencer on the end of some of these weapons.
Here we go.
He would not have even known this was happening, but for the sound of the gunshots, he would not have heard those gunshots.
Protect the ears of the hunters. How about the lives of the innocent?
And I will predict that bill will pass Congress despite this event. Guaranteed.
They watch too many movies. They really do. It doesn't silence a gun. It doesn't silence. It lowers the noise threshold, but it doesn't silence. It still will make a notable noise. Ah, Jesus Christ, these people are just beyond approach. Ed. You know what else I hate? When someone puts up advertisements saying they sell something for a certain price. And then you go looking and they don't have it for that price. That really is. As I'm sitting here talking, I'm looking up upper receivers. One of the companies said they had them for $159 complete. So I go and look, and there's none at $159. Tired of the arguments, tired of always explaining the same thing over and over again, and they just don't understand. It's like you're talking to a wall sometimes. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, and it's not like talking to a wall with me. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catherine is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sako as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. I'm still just... You know, why? I just don't... Just don't get it. Or I don't go over the same thing. It just boggles my mind. Oh. I mean, they jump so quick onto gun control. That's what it sounds like. They're happy it happened. Ooh, we get to talk about gun control. We get to force the issue about gun control. Gun control, gun control, gun control, gun control. Enough. But of course, you have Hillary Clinton that's blaming the Las Vegas attack on the NRA. Hours after the gunman opened fire on people at a concert shooting from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, Hillary Clinton called for America to stand up to the NRA as a way of preventing another attack. Do these people actually think that it's the NRA helping them do these attacks? If anything, the NRA is standing in the way of more goddamn attacks from happening. But they're so fucking thick-headed, and they don't give a shit. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. Clinton doesn't. She wants her gun control. She wants to take that away. She wants to go after, and the Democrats want to go after your God-given right to protect yourself. You know, Hillary went on, and the crowd fled at the sound of gunshots. Imagine the deaths if the shooters had a silencer, which the NRA wants to make easier to get. Our grief isn't enough. We can and we must put politics aside. Stand up to the NRA and work together to try to stop this from happening again. No, you're putting politics right in the fucking middle, woman. You're putting her smack dab in the middle. Haven't the left got it through their fucking head? For 8 years they pushed gun control. And we kept voting their asses out. What does that tell you? We don't want gun control. The country does not want gun control. If we wanted gun control, we would put you idiots in power. It's a pretty basic concept there. That's why you're not the president. Had some idiot actually. No, Trump's not my president. Hey. Huh. Dang. My Facebook Live time limit has been reached. Oh, so it's only 240 minutes allowed. Hey, Hillary. Psst, Hillary. If we wanted your 2 cents, if we cared what you thought, we would have elected you as president. We don't care what you think. We don't want to know what you think. Even your own party wants to put you out to pasture. They want you to go retire. You just don't get it, do you? Don't get it. Just, what's that old saying? Don't go away mad, just go away. We don't care what Hillary thinks.
And she has a history of doing this. She used the Oregon attack to criticize opponents and background checks. On the same day Clinton made these comments, the Los Angeles Times reported that all guns used in the Oregon attack were acquired legally. By legally, the Times meant the guns were acquired at retail via a background check. And it seems this guy got his guns legally. And it seems most of them were bought in California. Does anybody see the irony in that? Oh my God, just... When are they going to get it through their heads? They keep getting voted out. They haven't been in office. American people keep telling them, we don't want your brand. But yet they keep it. They just keep on coming. I gotta say, this is the one time I will not preach that a good guy could stop a bad guy with a gun, because this one, a lot of them didn't even know where the hell the shots were coming from at first. And to reach that distance, I still say this guy had to have some kind of training. I'm gonna say that. He made some, 400 yards? From the 32nd floor. He got a lot of wind between you and your targets. Something's just... I don't know. It just... Something doesn't equal. ICE is just being so pushy about being their shooter. Makes me wonder. Yeah, maybe he's been binge watching Shooter. That's it, let's blame it on TV again. When in doubt, it's sick. It's been a while since we had something like this. Yeah, it sounds like bad TV. It does. And it's been a couple of years since we had one. Doesn't mean we needed to have this. As long as man has malice in his heart, we're going to have these incidents. And I talked about that earlier, Jen. His dad being a 10 most wanted at one point, and they want to make it sound like this guy was just fine and dandy. No. I call shenanigans. I really do. Something's not adding right. Alright, everybody, I am going to call it a night. I will be back tomorrow, 9 p.m., and hopefully I'll be back in the chat room. I'll have my my permission to be back in the chat room. And hopefully I won't have my modem kick out again. And with that, everybody, give your loved ones a hug. Give them a big hug. Tell them you love them. Because you really don't know when it's going to happen. Everybody be safe.
You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.